how identity, culture, and background elbow their way into the essay prompt on the Vanderbilt University Supplement to the Common Application. That is the topic of today's video. My name is Craig Meister. I'm a college admissions coach. You can learn more about me and how you can work with me one-on-one throughout the entire college admissions process on my website, which is collegemeister.com. And if you're interested in learning about whether you are or your student is on track for selective college admission in the United States of America, visit areyouontracktogetin.com. Again, that's areyouontracktogetin.com, at which you will complete a free 3-minute assessment. Your results will be emailed to you right away, and they will help you clarify whether or not you are or your student is on track for selective college admission in the United States of America. For many years, please briefly elaborate on how one of your extracurricular activities or work experiences has influenced you was the sole prompt you would find when completing the first-year application to Vanderbilt on its supplement. That was the only supplementary question asked of first-year applicants to Vanderbilt. But then recently, Vanderbilt also added this prompt: Vanderbilt University values learning through contrasting points of view. We understand that our differences and our respect for alternate views and voices are our greatest source of strength. Please reflect on conversations you've had with people who have expressed viewpoints different from your own. How did these conversations or experiences influence you? So that was like an adjunct. That was sort of another option if you didn't want to answer the prompt about elaborating on one of your extracurricular activities. But that was not enough for the powers that be at Vanderbilt, who are clearly quite status conscious, because they're now all about getting a new campus in Palm Beach, West Palm Beach, Florida. They're all now about getting a new campus in New York City, Manhattan to be exact. So you know that the individuals over at Vanderbilt are very much into status items. And what is one of the greatest status items to demonstrate your status? Well, obsession with identity, culture, and background, also known as DEI. Let's take a look at Vanderbilt University's 2024-2025 required supplemental essay prompt on the Vanderbilt University Supplement to the Common Application. Gone are the days of elaborating on an extracurricular activity or talking about differing perspectives. Now it's all about identity, culture, and background. Vanderbilt University's motto is Latin for dare to grow. In your response, reflect on how one or more aspects of your identity, culture, or background has played a role in your personal growth, and how it will contribute to our campus community as you dare to grow at Vanderbilt. Now, you have up to 400 words, but you can go as few as 200. And let's say you don't want to talk about your race or your religion or your family's cultural heritage. You can, of course, talk about other aspects of your identity, which is quite inclusive if you think about it. You can talk about being a computer science geek, or being really into fashion, or really into baking, or really into skiing. I mean, those are all things that could theoretically be part of your identity. So don't feel as though you must focus on what Vanderbilt created this essay prompt to focus on, which is, of course, race. Vanderbilt created this prompt in order to get around the Supreme Court ruling in 2023 that said colleges and universities in the United States of America are no longer able to consider a student's racial status when making admissions decision. However, colleges like Vanderbilt have interpreted that to mean that they can still consider a student's racial experiences when evaluating and assessing and ultimately deciding to admit students to its university. So that's why this essay prompt exists. Vanderbilt clearly wants to try to get more types of certain races on campus, and that is why this prompt exists. Now, you may not be from one of those races that Vanderbilt University is targeting to increase its numbers in. And so all you can do if you are not in one of those select races, is you can just be the loudest, proudest version of yourself here. And so I would say look at yourself in the mirror, not just physically, but also figuratively, and decide to plant your flag in the ground of going big or going home on the aspect of your identity, culture, or background you feel you will be able to harness best in order to show that you are going to contribute a unique perspective on Vanderbilt's campus. That's really what you need to do if Vanderbilt's prompt is legal. Now, unfortunately, there will be many individuals who will read this and then will just talk about being Hispanic, or just talk about being Black, or just talk about being trans, or just talk about being gay. And if it relates to the sexual or gender identities, at least there's no guidance in the United States that is illegal to talk about. It's not illegal to talk about being Black or Hispanic either. However, it is illegal for Vanderbilt to accept a student purely based on his race or ethnicity. And lots of students will be likely only able to, in their response, talk about the superficial element of their identity, culture, or background. Oh, I'm Pakistani, or oh, I'm Mexican, or oh, I'm Eskimo, whatever it might be. And they're not going to be able to go past in their response how this element of their identity, culture, or background have contributed to their personal growth. And therefore, they're going to have a very hard time then going on to talking about or writing about how that aspect will also contribute to Vanderbilt's campus in a way beyond the superficial. But you are not going to be like those students, regardless of what you're talking about, whether you're talking about how you love history, or whether you're talking about how you dream of being a lawyer, or if you talk about how your race potentially has helped you grow. Regardless of how you introduce your identity, culture, or background, your goal is to show it in action. Show what your identity, culture, or background has inspired you to do so far, and then show how your identity, culture, or background is likely to inform your choices, your behavior on Vanderbilt's campus in specificity. That is key. You just can't say, I'm going to wake up every morning as a Black person, and that is enough. No, you are going to show how, as a Black person, you have grown in way X, Y, or Z, and you anticipate growing in way A, B, or C as a Black person at Vanderbilt, and that's going to metastasize itself or show itself by you doing KLNM or LMNOP or whatever. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you basically have to show how that is the seed that is ultimately going to motivate you or inspire you to do 1, 2, or 3 different things on campus. And they need to be very specific things, like joining this organization or making it better or being a more dynamic individual in terms of class conversations, or sparking debate at the dining hall, or leading this initiative. You basically have to use it as the seed. The identity, culture, or background is the seed that is going to be planted, that is going to bloom into your actions, your behavior on Vanderbilt's campus. That is the focus that you need to really get in the zone to produce. And this is true regardless of whether you're picking off this aspect of your identity, that aspect of your identity, this aspect of your culture, that aspect of your culture, this aspect of your background, or that aspect of your background. It doesn't matter if you're white, Black, or anywhere in between. It matters where you run with it. So oftentimes parents will say, is this a good topic, Craig? Can I talk about this? And I always say, Johnny, Janie, it's not a matter of is the topic good or bad. It's a matter of the follow through. So you can pick any aspect of your identity, culture, or background here, as long as you can draw a straight line between it and how it has impacted your actions, your behavior, your growth so far. and how it will continue to contribute to your behavior and actions on Vanderbilt University's campus if you should be so lucky to be accepted to this august university in Nashville. But again, apparently that was not enough. Now they're spreading the web to the East Coast, and namely, of course, Palm Beach County and Manhattan. But that's another story for another day. How you want to set up this actual essay structurally: a 1-paragraph intro with a thesis introducing that aspect of your identity, culture, or background around which this essay will revolve. But again, it's not just about the superficial element of your culture, background, or identity. It's also about how it has helped you grow so far. Then you're going to prove it in the body. And then by the later parts of the body, you are going to now be showing the way in which that will inform your behavior on Vanderbilt University's campus. This is very much a why Vanderbilt University essay in disguise, in the sense that you can and you should be dropping hints that you have done your research into Vanderbilt University by the second half of your body as you integrate in proof of how you will be contributing uniquely to Vanderbilt's campus through your identity, culture, or background. Again, it's not that which will impact the campus. Your identity is not going to be impacting the campus. Your culture will not be impacting the campus. Your background will not be impacting the campus. It will be what you have been inspired to do as a result of your identity, culture, or background that will impact the Vanderbilt University campus. And then in the conclusion, you're not just going to repeat what you've stated so far in the body and in the intro. Of course, the intro sets it up, the body proves it, but the conclusion is where you're going to now say something new, say something reflective, say something thoughtful that makes Vanderbilt like you that much more, but that of course is in the same neighborhood of the topic you've been talking about so far, but goes a step beyond it. Now, let's say you really want to get into Vanderbilt University and you finished your Common App and the Vanderbilt University supplement to the Common App, and you want to know if they're as strong as possible and whether or not in its current condition, your Common App's chances of admission are impressive, inconclusive, or inadequate for Vanderbilt. You need my pre-read. Getting my pre-read now means having me review your entire application, just like an admissions officer or admissions committee at Vanderbilt will review it later, and receiving by email, no later than the time you reserve, a comprehensive report from yours truly, highlighting what's working and what's not on your full Common App and your Vanderbilt University Common App supplement. If you've yet to submit your Common App to Vanderbilt, my pre-read may motivate you to make adjustments to it before your deadline. If you've already submitted your Common App to Vanderbilt University, my pre-read will prepare you for what I deem to be your likely admissions outcome at Vanderbilt University, for the time being at least, in Nashville, Tennessee. To purchase my pre-read now, go to mypreread.com. Again, that's mypreread.com. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one throughout the entire college admissions process, go to my website, which is collegemeister.com. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and most importantly, stay stress-free throughout the entire college admissions process.